Must be the camera. Let's get set up here. Folks, come on and click on with me if you can. Little aliens, what's going on? No time for it. What's going on? If you can hear me, say you can, please. If you hear me, say you can, please. I'm slow grinding this morning, so we ain't in no particular rush, I don't think. All right, great. Thank you, a divine blessing. Okay, Butterfly J, we'll click back on later. It's okay. I'm doing this because I want to do the mid-year pivot, and I want to do it while I got my full energy. And even though I plan on doing it at the 7:30 time slot for Thursday Night Live, I'm gonna go ahead and do it right now and just let it play at that time for those who don't see it. Because I just want to do it while I'm at my strength. Okay, so if you can click on and stay, please do. If not, catch the rebroadcast or whatever later on this evening. I'll probably do this in lieu of doing the Thursday Night Live, and pick up Thursday Night Live and Wednesday Morning Live, all that stuff that we do. Going into July. That's great. Yep. Some people gonna get lucky this morning and get put on the right path for the second half of the year just because you clicked on. I'm gonna probably give it to the 5-minute marker. And then we're gonna get rolling. Shout out Little Aliens again. Shout out No Time For It again. Shout out Butterfly J. These is big clickers, a divine blessing. You know you're a clicker if you click on, and it ain't even time for me to be on. Them is the clickers for me. I appreciate my clickers. This has been a tumultuous year for us. Coming up on August, it'll be a year that I've been doing these videos consistently. And we've been just growing and getting better and better, man. Getting better and better. Through the fire, through the wire. Tab. Glad you back. We ain't going nowhere. Same back channel. We ain't going nowhere. We still got work to do. Thank you for clicking on. I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. I wanted to do this live because it's hard for me to do anything that's instructional without at least feeling like somebody's paying attention. And that may get better for me, but it's a little bit tough for me to do pre-recorded instruction. I like to be live with it, so I can see the hearts, the likes, the shares, if I'm making sense to you, or if I need to go back. A work in progress, morning. Like I said, we are going to do the mid-year pivot this morning. If you can click on, please do. If not, this video will be up in place of Thursday Night Live tonight. I think I'm gonna take me a break on Thursday Night Live tonight so that we can hit July running and go hard in the third quarter. Anthony Stewart and Closey, big clickers. Glad y'all is in the building. Hope you heard what I just said. All right, let me say a quick word of prayer, because that just get me in the right mood to do what I got to do. Dear Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to come this morning. And we are coming here as students. I'm a student. They are students. But I'm going to be a student, and I'm going to be a facilitator of the words. We're going to move into the right place and set us up for the rest of the year. It's important that we do this. It's important that we keep track of these milestones because sometimes you can be moving and doing works in our lives and we done got so busy we forgot what you did. So we take these moments to say, yeah, we did that. That was good. We need to work on that. Pop, pop, pop. Show us how to go through this program. Amen. All right, coolie, 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 coolie. Let's rock. So yeah, we end in the second quarter. We're at the end of June, and with any business, and I'm always going to say you are a business, whether you know it or not. You got to handle yourself. You got when people say handle your business, they say handle yourself. But with any business, you have to have benchmark times and review times. I'm going to always do benchmark times at the end of a quarter. Going to always do benchmark review times at the beginning of a month. And honestly, you should actually be doing review and benchmark times at the beginning of a week. Now, each one of these little sessions don't got to be no full length session. If you're talking about the beginning of the week, it's 15 minutes. But if we're talking about going into a new quarter, we kind of got to spend some time. If we're talking about going into the second half of the year, we kind of got to spend some time and look at what's going on and look at if that lines up with the vision God has for us and the vision that we have for ourselves. Okay. So this is why we do that. This is what we're going to do. And I'm going to, if you have access to some type of note taking document, please take your notes. If you don't, again, please watch the rebroadcast of these and take notes then, because it's essential that we write things down. It's essential that we write things down. I always got books, notebooks, full of journaling and stuff that we want to do and date books, because this is our tracking mechanism. See, when you're working, let's say you work at the drugstore, CVS knows how many um, hours you worked. They know how many sales you've produced. They know they're keeping track of these metrics. But in your personal life, ain't nobody keeping track of your personal metrics. Okay, guys, you need to keep track of your own personal metrics. So make sure you're making some notes. Make sure you're keeping some documentation. I'm gonna run through a few more shout outs before I go forward. Shout out Melissa, big time clicker. Tim, big time clicker. Ethereal Karma is a big time clicker, big time supporter of the page. Glad y'all can click on. If you want to go back in the live right quick, you can rewind while I'm still going and catch up to what I said earlier, and then meet me back as we continue to go forward. Kelly's in the building. Big time clicker, big time supporter, triple big time supporter. Okay. So as we go into the second half of the year, it's important that we use the notes that we've already taken for the first quarter, second quarter. Even some of us have started making some notes here, if you've been following me, from the fourth quarter of 2022. Okay. So now we mid-year. We're rocking, we're rolling. All right. So with every plan, we always start at the same place. If we're going to put a plan together, we always start at the same place. I don't care if it's the beginning of the year, beginning of the month, beginning of the quarter, blah, 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 what have you. And that place starts with celebrating your accomplishments. Okay. Start off while we're putting this plan together and this play together. Start off celebrating the things that you feel like you've done really well up until this point in the year. I'm going to give you some time to do that. If you're making some notes, just write you 3 bullets. I set out to do this, and I did that on on June 26th. I set out to do that, and I finally did that back in April. I wanted to do that, and that was good. I've been doing that and then stayed away from that. I'm 2 years sober on that. I'm still clean on that. See, whenever you coaching, even if you coaching a person, you don't go straight in with the deficits. You don't go straight in on, hey, glad we could come meet today, John. The reason for the meeting is you trash at the job. No, you come in and say, John, thank you for coming in, man. We love that you're always on time. We love that. Blah, 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 blah. When you do this, this is great. But we got a couple of tweaks, John. This is how you're supposed to put the ice cream thing in there, and you ain't been doing it like that. And that's okay. I'm gonna show you how to do it, and let's do it like that going forward. Okay. And we'll check. That's how you coach, and that's how you coach yourself. Don't start your mid-year planning and your mid-year review and say, I'm still drinking more than I want. I'm still ain't got to. But no, we going straight in with what we've done well. What are we excited about that's happening? Put that in 2 or 3 lines. Any goals, any benchmarks that you really want to do. You know, if you sometimes it may help if I use this page as an example. Okay. First half of the year, I definitely wanted page memberships. First half of the year, I definitely want us to get somewhere between 5 and 6,000 subscribers. First half of the year, I'm happy about us being able to continue to do lives every week. I'm excited about that. First half of the year, I really wanted to institute having some type of green screen, some screen changes. I'm happy about that. Okay, we doing that. We did that. Wanted to add some lighting. Wanted to get some salt. We did that. Community's getting bigger. People are connected. We did that. All right, good. Let's move forward. Go ahead immediately after that and identify your areas of dissatisfaction. Shout out Deborah. Click on and stay on with me if you can. This is teaching. It ain't hype. It ain't no smoke. This is real teaching. This is real growth. We fell short right there. I wanted to get to the gym this first half of the year. I didn't get there consistently. I wanted to da 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 da. I didn't do that consistently. I fell short right there. I missed the mark right there. And as you're identifying those areas of dissatisfaction, I'm going to give you another word to consider. Any areas of unfulfilled potential. Whew, that's a tough one. When we get in this first stage of assessing where we are before we start setting off to make any pivots, new goals, or whatever, show me my areas of unfulfilled potential, Lord. Where could I have done more? How does this, and this is a question that you ask yourself, how does where I am right now and all of the things that I like and dislike or whatever, how does that line up with where I wanted to be starting off this year, where I wanted to be starting off second quarter? How's that measure up? How does that measure up? Now, this is this is pivotal. This is a big question. Out of what I need you to do right now is look at, out of all the things you set out to do this first half of the year, set out to do this quarter, whatever your goals were, whatever some key. See, some people don't have goals, and I don't want to say that's okay. We're trying to get you there, but even if you didn't have a technical goal, there were some certain bullet points you want to hit. I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. Okay. Now, of the things that you didn't get done, And of the things that you did get done, go ahead and identify the things that you do not want to keep on working on for the next half of the year. Like I know I set out to do this, that, and the third based on the beginning of the year goals, but now that we're here, based on the market, based on where I am, based on how I'm feeling in life, that's not necessary no more. That's not necessary no more. Thank you for clicking on Marlana. So go ahead and separate that stuff out. Also, it's a time to reflect on your personal strengths and weaknesses. Am I still weak here? Did I get stronger in this area? Now, after the assessment, period, after we've made an assessment, this is where we are. See, it's okay to outline where you are. We're talking about taking a trip. We're taking a trip from the person that we are now to the person that we want to be. And so, in order to take a trip, there are two coordinate points. When you pull up GPS and you type your GPS in, excuse me, you're asking you two things. Where are you and where are you trying to go? And when you push enter, it's going to show you a route. We are at the we're here now coordinate point. And it's very important that you don't confuse the this is where I am now to some place where you are where you were in the past. Okay. We need the GPS in life to redirect and reroute and recalculate and write it down. So that causes us to have to identify. I'm doing good cleaning up my house. I'm doing bad in that. I'm doing good keeping the car clean. I'm doing bad in that. And it may not be that granular, but look for your three. I always say look for your big three. How are you doing in finance, fitness, and family? Finance encompasses all your business stuff. Fitness encompasses all your health stuff. Family encompasses all your relational stuff. Hope that helps somebody to define these new goal categories. I know we ain't gonna have a whole bunch of clickers clicking on and staying on with us. It's okay. It's 9:18. I'm teaching you. Have your coffee. I just got to get it off. Now, after we at the assessment phase, believe it or not, it's time to nail down what are our new goals and new objectives. And it may not be that some of your goal, it may be that some of your goals and objectives from the beginning of the year are not removed, they're just altered. Some things need to be removed, some things need to be changed, but there needs to be 3 to 5 goals and objectives that you definitely want to get off between now and the end of third quarter. And just so you know, most businesses don't do any major changes and any major updates in fourth quarter. If you're doing changes and fixing and changing goals and stuff in fourth quarter, it's already too late. It's nothing you can do in the fourth quarter to affect the year. Anything that you do in the fourth quarter just goes on into January. Okay. So you ain't gonna hear me talk much about fourth quarter goal planning. When you're doing your second half of the year goal planning, this is third and fourth quarter, and this should encompass everything that's going to try to take you to Christmas. New goals and objectives. I always use the SMART goal acronym. If you're going to set a goal, it has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be achievable, it has to be relevant, and it has to be time bound. We're getting very specific. By September 24th, I need to have X amount of dollars. By If I said I need to have the flight booked to this particular trip. Has to be relevant, meaning, is that relevant to your life? All right. Like, don't set a goal that has no relevance. Is it time bound? Is it on a schedule? All right. You can't say one day. People kill me saying one day we're gonna do this and the third. One day, Cherie from NY, we appreciate your contributions to the page. Big time clicker. God bless you, brother. God gonna always do his thing. I appreciate that report. New objectives: set clear, specific, and measurable goals. Align the goals with your personal values and your long term vision. Consider both personal and professional aspects. This when you're setting up these new goals, this is the time to align them with what are you aspiring to be? How do you want to be received out here? What's your values? Some of y'all values done changed. What is it now? What do you believe in now? What do you believe? All right, we going down. This to me, this section, I'm going to call it section 3, is the most important section of them all to me. Your strategies and your tactics. Okay. I want you to use what's called the 1-3-5 approach, which is one meaning what's my one thing I'm trying to work on? What are the 3 strategies? And then put 5 action items under those 3 strategies. It's okay. I know I'm going deep, but I don't care. We be talking about what y'all want to talk about all the time. 1-3-5. Journaling is great. Journaling is great. 1-3-5. Okay. So let's say in the second half of the year, I'll just use the page as an example because that's an easy example for me. In the next one, in the next, in the next 3 months, I want to have at least one course out, like an extended course like this. Okay. How does What are my 3 strategies to get that done? Number one, I gotta have scheduling in it. When am I going to record? When am I going to outline? Number two, I got to have a creative component. What's the course going to be about? What are the objectives? Blah, 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 blah. Number three will be when am I going to execute? When am I going to record? When I'm going to drop? When I'm going to put it out? Got one big goal, 3 big tactic categories, 5 strategy items underneath each one of those. Okay. And so here's the thing. When you break it out like that, then you realize I don't have time to have 50 goals. If I got 50 goals and I got to put 3 strategies behind each of them and then 5 action plans behind, next thing you know, you got 250,000 things to do. Focus on the 3. Focus on having 3 big goals that you want to knock out for the rest of the year, please. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And here's the thing when you're talking about strategies, it may include resources, it may include some educational things, it may include some people that you need to pull in. There should and let me give you something. When you're writing out your goals, there should be some people names on there that you need to meet. If you're writing a goal, say, hey, I want to build a subdivision, there should be a couple people that's in that industry names on there that you plan on meeting in this quarter by certain benchmarks. There should be a certain amount of educational courses that you plan to take by these certain benchmarks. There should be some action items that you plan to take by these certain benchmarks. I hope I'm helping somebody, please. After strategies and tactics, I think it's important that you have some timeline milestones and some celebratory points in the process. Hey, when this is done by this and this, we're gonna celebrate that day. When this is done, da, 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 we're gonna take a trip that day. When this is done, da, 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 we're gonna blah 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 this day. The reason you're doing this is because sometimes your brain needs you to gamify what's going on. Because if part of your process was, hey, I need to make this many new contacts, and it requires you to make 15, 20, 100 calls per day until you get to that number, you can get bored in that process. So you kind of have to dangle a carrot out in front of yourself and say, okay, if I can make 1,000 calls by this day, we're gonna celebrate. Is that helping somebody? If I can do this and that, we're gonna celebrate. Because see, one of my big faults is I don't celebrate enough. And so I'm trying to constantly be mindful of that. I go from one thing to the next in terms of achievement. It's just the way my brain works. Soon as something done, that's done, and let's go to the next thing, and let's build that, and let's do that, and let's go to. I very rarely say, "Ooh, look at what we did." Okay, but you have to do that. You have to celebrate yourself because that's going to keep you going when you're doing an arduous task like recording hours and hours of video or editing video or whatever you do. All right. Thank y'all. My clickers is with me. And this is for anyway. This ain't for strangers. This for people who know what we've been putting down all year. All right. Time on the milestones. Now, this fifth step is something many people don't do because especially men don't want to be accountable to anybody. Men really only want to be accountable to themselves. But there's a portion in your goal setting where you need to share this with somebody that's going to hold you to the fire of what you said. Somebody that you don't want to let down. Might be a mama, might be a cousin, might be an old business partner. But you go to them and you say, hey, man, maybe a spouse, maybe a significant other, maybe your kids. Hey, these are the things I'm setting out to do in this next half of the year. I got to have that done, this done, and this done. And these are the times. And I don't want nothing from you, ma'am, sir, but to be my accountability partner in this race. All I need you to do is check on me every now and then. People don't want to do that because see, sometimes when you showing your goals, it's exposing your weakness. And like I said, I can't speak as good for men as I can speak for women. We don't be wanting people to see our weaknesses. We don't be wanting people to see the places that we know we need to fix. Okay. But that's what's going to have to happen. You need a partner, man. You can't go it alone. You got to tell somebody. And honestly, for some of the things, maybe you telling a different person for each thing. Maybe you got a different accountability partner for your relational stuff than you have for your business stuff. Peace, Lejeune. We just talking. We just collaborating. We just getting our life together. God is good. I need somebody to help me. I'm a update and don't put the onus on them to reach out to you. Hey, listen, on this day, I'm gonna call you and tell you where I am with this. I don't need you to do nothing but answer. Cool, cool. Psh, peace. We good. These are some things that you have to be keeping in mind. Be realistic, be flexible, communicate, track progress, celebrate successes along the way. I'm gonna repeat that. Be realistic about what's going on. If you got $15, might be hard pressed to have $1 million by the end of the year. Not stranger things have happened, but be realistic. Think about how to take that 15 to 10 bands as opposed to take that 15 to $1 million. Think about how to take that 15 to 50 or 30 bands and instead of taking it to $1 million. I can't. I'm just trying to help you be realistic about what can actually be achieved. Cause see, this is a great quote that I heard. It says that we are overly confident about what we can achieve in a year and pessimistic about what can be done over 5 years. Meaning, you people overshoot what you can do in 1 year and undershoot what can be achieved in 3 to 5. Be realistic about the 6 month. Track progress. Don't let the thing get all the way off the rail and then you say, I'm off the rail. If you're tracking your progress correctly, you should be able to see when you off the rail before you all the way off the rail. Now, this part is kind of like extra credit. I've given you the overall setup of how to do this, but these are some. This is this going deep, deep, deep into personal development. Some of y'all, for where you want to go in the second half, is going to require some new skills. And if that's the case, you're going to have to update. When you're okay, let me make this clear. When you're going from skill to skill, don't don't think that you have to learn everything. Think about the skills that's needed in that place that you don't have. You're looking for skill gaps. Maybe you need a course, maybe you need a workshop, maybe you need a mentor to fill in those gaps. Also, try to get into some industry events. If you're trying to see some of you transition into a different industry. And so you need to be around the people that talk that language so you can understand what's going on. It's not about can you actually do it in the industry? Do you have the skill or the intelligence? Sometimes it's not that you don't have the skill or the intelligence, you don't speak the language. And so mentorship, groups, Facebook groups, all of that stuff puts you in the language of what's going on. so that you can apply your skill set from other places and speak the language and get things accomplished. Learn from setbacks. Learn from setbacks. Be open to feedback. That was a setback. But I'm learning from that. It was a setup. It wasn't meant for you to stay set back. Okay, guys. I'm getting out of here. I gave you 35 minutes of the phone. I don't know if I'm gonna click on the Thursday night live, or I may stay on a little bit more. I may do some more video around this stuff. Like I said, it's really essential that we switch it over, guys. We did good, man. I'm proud of y'all. Let me say this: I'm proud of y'all. I don't know everybody's individual stories, but from the stories that I've heard, I'm proud of you because it was very it was very targeted to have you stamped out of here. Very targeted to have you erased. But you stood tall. You continue to stay tall. You continue to try to pray, try to get closer to God. You continue to show patience. You continue to exercise forgiveness. Forgiveness and forgetfulness is two different things. You continue to apply grace to people that don't deserve it, just like God apply his grace to us. So this is a salute. Big Joe, what's up, brother? This is a salute to you all. I applaud you. I applaud your consistency. I applaud the inconsistency. See, here's the thing: what you see, because I look at inconsistency as this is something I know I need to do. I fell off, but I'm back. Okay, all right. We applaud that. We stronger. Some of y'all spiritual muscles so strong, man. You just then built your muscle up so strong that people gotta marvel. Okay, or people just gotta feel you. You ain't gotta say nothing. If when you in the space, people feel what you was on. All right, peace out, folks.